starts. Original sound for musicians is on. Recording is on. You are being recorded. I'm going to share screen. Share that. And so hopefully you can see. Oh, I think I want to get rid of that from my side. Oh, a bit odd. Right. Hopefully you can see Plex Owen, Plex Fanny Power and George Brabazon. And we've done these relatively recently, so I don't think we need to start very slowly. They're fairly slow tunes anyway. So whereas normally I'd play each tune a couple of times and get it right before moving on, I think at this point we're just going to try and play the page as written and see what happens. Of course I won't know what happens to the trouble. I can't hear you at all, so I need some feedback at the end of it as to whether it worked or not. So I'm going to play the whole of the last line of Planks de Irwin. So we will play the repeats as written, so A, A, B, B, and then on to Fanny Power, A, A, B, B, and George Brabazon. The transition to George Brabazon is slightly odd, isn't it? There's a as written, it's not quite the right length. The end of Fanny Power has five quavers, and then there's another 2 at the beginning. So we've either got to do that transition, we've either got to shorten the last bar of Fanny Power slightly in order to leave time for, or you've got to speed up the 2. I would actually just shorten the but just watch it, because if you play it exactly as written, you'll be one quaver behind everyone else through the whole of the rest of the tune. Right, okay. Repeat. Change. we were getting a bit of interference there for just at the end. From I see. It's Rosemary, is it? Unmuted somehow. Right, I've muted her. Hopefully that didn't intervene too much. So let me just end the share a minute. Stop share so we can see what's what. Hello, speak to me. Right. So did that work? Were you able to play along with that at that speed? Yes, there's no great problem. Thumbs up, etc. So Rosemary is talking. Hello, Rosemary. Can you hear us?
I could hear you very well. I couldn't play along because I couldn't read the music and I couldn't find it in the book very quickly.
Oh dear, right, okay.
All right, and I've got a nurse here to give me my last lot of drugs, so I'm just otherwise engaged at the moment.
Okay, I'm going to mute you. We're going to try it again. Have you found some music now, or was it? I mean, it was there on the screen.
It was very small.
Oh, it was small on your
I couldn't
screen.
read
Yeah.
George Brabazon at all. Planks you have to play by ear.
The tunes you probably know fairly well to play by ear, but right. Shall we try it once more? Share. Yes, John puts in effort to make these all available in general on the on the Chiltinas website, or my things are on my website to download, so you can download them and print them off, or just download them and have them on a screen yourself. Right, so what's happening here? Something a bit odd. Right. So we don't want to be any faster than that. Right. I mean, it is a slightly odd set, and we've got two tunes in 6/8 and one in 4/4. It would probably make more sense if we found an O'Carolan one that was another plank steer that was in 6/8. But anyway, we have what we have. Right, so same intro, last line of plank steer win. I'll do it a little bit faster, but not a lot. Hang on, we've still got right. Everybody's muted, I think now. Right, let's try that again. Same thing again. set of planksties. Hopefully that's got your fingers moving a bit. So we'll move on to, let's maybe find John's programme. So on the parts tunes fronts, we've got Gentle Maiden and then the Wellerman. So the parts tunes are in my parts tune book as well as being on the website. So this is another nice slow Irish, relatively slow Irish waltz in this case. See if I can remember how it actually goes. Etc. That's the tune, and the other part, which we'll also do, goes. Right, let's all play the tune initially, the black notes. Hopefully it's a bit bigger on the screen for Rosemary there. So we will play, I will play a last 5 bars actually, because there's a bit on the end. And again. So that's the tune. I think most of you will probably have come across it before. It's a nice, well-behaved tune. It doesn't leap about particularly. The second line, the red notes, is really almost a counter melody. It's quite a nice tune in its own right. Written by Chris Hills, who was another a Green Shoots player. I might do it slightly slower because there's a few more notes in this one than the top line and people don't know it necessarily. Alright, so here's a last 5 bars again of the red notes. Right, so hopefully you were playing along with me on those two times. So we've played the top twice and the bottom twice. What I suggest now is that you play the other one. So if I'm playing the red notes, you play the black notes, and you should find they harmonise quite nicely. So I'm going to play the red notes twice and then the black notes twice. So I think you want to play the black notes twice and then the red notes twice. But it's entirely up to you. I can't hear you, so you could play the same as I'm doing. I'll play nothing at all and I wouldn't know. Right, so I'm doing red notes, I think, to start with. Again. Switch. Again. Right, so Martin arrived in the middle of that, I saw. So that was, you are hearing one and playing the other one yourself. What we'll try now is that if I stop sharing a minute, put that down. If I stop sharing and I go and find some sounds files, we have a gentle maiden. Right. Right. So if I now share both the music and media player, then I've got something sort of stuck on my screen. matter to me there. I think probably that's okay. Right, so I want media player there. So this is a John Mackenzie generated MP3, I think. I don't know whether it has an intro or goes straight in. I'll just try playing it and see what happens. Right, so it doesn't have an intro, it goes straight in. So you have to be ready to start playing. And you can play whichever part you like. Or if you're on a duet, you could play them both at the same time. I mean, you could probably do both at the same time, a lot of it on an English if you're particularly good. But right, okay, I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and press the button and see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So did that work? Did you hear the music, both parts, and you were able to play along with it? Right, well I think we could have one more go through that. It doesn't take all that long, and then we'll move on to something different at the Wellerman. And I'll do this, I'll let it play them again, which rests my finger. So, share screen, share media player, share parts tune book, and I'm just going to, no, I'm not, yes, I'm going to what, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. that. It's a nice setting. I wish I'd persuaded Chris to write a few more second parts. Right, everybody looks, they're all staring intently, waiting for what to play next. So the next one on the list is The Wellerman, which a couple of years ago sort of got into the charts as somebody singing a shanty unexpectedly. So what I want is, let me just find me, I'll just share screen. Let's go and find it again. To get rid of that, hide floating image. Right. So I want songs. So this is The Wellerman. There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of that ship was the Billy T. The wind blew hard, the bow slipped down, etc. I could actually, for making it easier to read, I could. No, I couldn't. I could try that. Hello. That's better. So you haven't got the words anymore, but you've got the tune a little bit bigger. If you want words, they're in the songs tune book. So this one, the tune is the black notes and is sort of all right. The accompaniment, which is really a fiddle accompaniment, goes up a bit high. Has rather more notes in it. Anyway, let's initially just play the. It gives lots of opportunities for alternating fingers on repeated notes if you like. It's sort of worth getting into the habit of doing that. I'm still not totally confident with it. I do where there's groups of 3, it sort of happens now. When there's groups of 4, I'm never quite sure whether to do it, because you end up on the wrong finger unless you think ahead and start on the wrong finger. Right, anyway, let's give it a try and see. So I'm just going to do a last 2 bars as intro, and then I'm going to play the tune, hopefully. Hang on, we've got 2 sharps in this thing. Right, I'll sort myself out in a minute. Again. So that's the tune. It goes, for singing purposes, rather faster than that, and when we get on to John's synthesized recording it is quite fast, so I've done a slower parts synthesized thing which we could try in a minute. But all right, first of all let's have a look at this, the red notes. Now do not be put off in the middle of the tune where there are two sets of notes. You are not expected to play both of these. The higher set of notes is the one that came to me from Mia Asano, who wrote the second part. Yes, there's that. That's another thing to watch. So at the very beginning, it's sort of predictable, but when you get in the second line, it looks rather similar. There's a short. It's sort of syncopated. It's off the beat, that one. And then it goes up. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Yeah, do it right in a minute. I'll do that again. Excuse me, I've got a squeaky note. Oh dear. Oh. Oh, that's not going to work. I've got that's probably a leather valve has got stuck into the aperture. Let me switch instruments. Oh no, now what am I doing? Yeah, you have to remember to do your sharps as well. So this bit is not easy. So I think we're going to take this slowly and try and get our fingers right on these. But if you find those high notes too hard, reading 3 ledger lines above the stave, the other ones that are written are just the same notes an octave lower. Etc. So if you find it easier and you don't want to be finding C sharps or whatever right up there, then feel free to use the lower notes. I won't know either way, of course. Right, let's just try playing the red notes a bit slower than I was doing there. Right, so this is going. I'll play the whole of the last line and then come in from the beginning. Oh no, sorry, I've messed that up, haven't I? I'll do that line again. Again. Ah, rubbish. What am I doing? I'm on just a row out. Starting the second line again. Yeah. Now we're suffering because of my finger injury. I haven't actually played anything for a week, and I was intending to practice, and I haven't. Right, I'll start again from the beginning. We'll see how we go. If not, I may ask somebody else to play it. But let's have one more try. So here's our last two bars. Again. Yes, well, that's not perfect, but it's getting there. What I'll do now is give my finger a rest. If I just stop sharing for a minute and I find, let's close that one. If I go and find my set of sound files, right. So I've got a Wellerman at 8. It's even slightly slower than I was playing there, but you'll hear both parts, which I think will be it, and it will be strict to time, which I was not in the middle of that one. Right, so let's do me sharing. Share screen, songs, tune book, media player. Media player, thank you. Oh, needs to go over there. There's no intro to this, it just starts, so I'm going to say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 and press the button, and maybe I'll just say 3 and press the button and see what happens. 1, 2, 3. Again. So now you've got your fingers round it all. I need to close that. I need to find my sounds again. Where's it gone? And we will try the one that John did, which is a little bit faster. As you might have heard there. So give it a go and see how you get on. Right, so there's the share screen, music, media player, share. Oops, lost it. Oh, hang a minute, I think I may want to be sharing something odd a bit here. Let's try that again. Share screen, share that, and a media player. I think I was only sharing one of them. Right, I don't think, well, let's look. Yes, it's a little bit faster. Good exercise. If in doubt, go to the tune, which is easier to play, but if you can do the accompaniment, it's a good try. Right, there's no intro, so I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3 and press the button and see what happens. 1, 2, 3. Right. So, be honest, how many people were keeping up at that speed? There's lots of shaking heads going on there.
It's all right.
Only by avoiding the high notes, though.
Yeah.
Paul.
Sorry, Wendy was saying.
It's all right on the black notes. Just
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, I think that's what I found. Maybe we ought to ask John to produce a slightly slower one. I mean, I could have done an in-between one, I suppose. Do you want to have one more try at that speed, and then we'll go on to something simpler?
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Everybody muted? Yes, yes, we are. Right, let's do the same thing again then. Share screen. That and that. Right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's interesting. Let's try something there. Right, okay, let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. Good. I'm sure that time through you were playing it perfectly. But you need to be stretched a bit. But that's, I think if you were singing it, that's the speed you sing it at. There once was a ship that went to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billiard Tea. And John's put that recording, it's on the website, so if you want a bit of homework, you can, if you weren't managing to keep up, you can download the MP3 or just play it live and play along with it. Right, the next thing on the list is guest spot. We'd love for you to share anything you've been playing recently. Anybody got anything to offer that they've been playing over the last few weeks? There's a lot of frowns. No. Oh well, we'll carry on. If you think of something in the next bit, you can always say and things. So after that, we've got a set of marches. Mainly from my tune book, with the addition of March into Spring from John at the end. So if I for the moment just share a tune book, not the right tune book, but still session tune book, right, okay. So I'm going to have a drink of coffee, which has arrived during the previous tune. Right, I can go back to my other concertina for the moment, because it was a high something that was misbehaving there. Yeah, so just out of interest, I switched from this is a Lachenal new model, is my sort of preferred performing in front of a microphone one. You know, a good Lachenal, you know, their best model before they did the Ediophones, the 12-sided ones. The one I switched to is sort of interesting. It's you can sort of see from that it's got inlay and things. If I turn it that way, that way round, you may notice that the ends are thicker than usual. That distance there.
Yeah.
And that's because this, probably with me. Let me just stop sharing. I can see a bit better what I'm doing. I think that's possibly what I want to do, is get rid of let me get rid of my virtual background for the moment. None. Right, you can see me in reality. Yeah, so it's inlaid ends and things, but that way on these things are thicker than usual, and that's because it's got resonant cavities on both sides of the reed plate. Normally on an ordinary concertina, the reeds on the inside of the machine just are on a plain piece of wood going into the bellows, and they sort of resonate into the bellows space, whereas the ones on the outside each have an individually tuned cavity of the right size to amplify the sound. This one is from 1840 something, I think, and at that stage they were still building them with resonant cavities on both sides. And after a while they gave up, because I think they decided it made sod all difference, and it cost quite a bit to make these extra tuned cavities. So there's still a few, many of the George Case instruments that have those, and I seem to have somehow or other acquired 3 of them. But this is a brass reeded George Case with really rather pretty, I don't know what the wood is on the ends, but it sort of looks almost like olive root or something. I mean, it's very mottled. So it's a nice. It's become my favourite round the house instrument, because it's brass reed, so it's not too strident. But it sounds nice. Anyway, so that's what I switched to, but I'm going to switch back now to much more strident, isn't it? And it's not my loudest instrument by any means, but it's very noticeable the difference between the brass reeds and the steel reeds.
I've just looked at my George Case baritone and noticed for the first time in the 15 years that I've had it that yes, it's an enormous size. It's obviously got the double cavities.
Paul,
Yes.
while you're talking about instruments, my F natural in the higher reed has got a whoosh to it. It goes shh. There's
When
no,
it's
there's nothing missing in the bits and pieces. It's all okay. So it must be inside.
I mean, does it whoosh all the time while you're playing that note, or only whoosh at the beginning when you start playing it?
No, it's doing it all the time.
A common cause of that sort of thing is that there's air leaking. You know, you're pressing one button and air's going into that resonant cavity, but it's some air's leaking into the next door one, and that, you know, it's that sound of it working its way through the next cavity is what.
So it's an internal thing.
Yeah, it's probably an internal thing. The one of the common causes that's very easy to fix is that the plate that holds the reeds is held away from the bellows with little triangular blocks of wood in the corners when it comes in there. They're the thing that stop it falling into the bellows.
Right.
And sometimes one of those comes unglued, you know, and comes loose.
I wonder.
So then the end of the concertina, you know, which should be smack on to the thing with the reeds, is just sort of not tight in one place. This thing's moved away from it slightly, and it can be just a matter of re-gluing that block into the right place. I had to do that on one recently that I was working with. So it's not particularly difficult, but you if you're not used to taking instruments apart and applying glue, it might be worth finding somebody who. Are you going to you're going to Halsey or anything like that?
No. Well, I know a very handy man that might be able to do something.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's a nice thing about a concertina. Undo 6 screws, it comes apart, and it's pretty obvious how the things fit together. But the two things I would look at, one is make sure the valve hasn't, the leather valves on both sides for that note, make sure one of them hasn't got caught on the side of the thing. And the other thing is look to see a hint very often for concertinas that were played in smoky pubs, as a lot of them were, is you find there's a black mark on the chamois leather at the edge of that particular pocket, you know, that tuned cavity. The chamois should be nicely yellow and even, but you'll quite often find there's one bit of the concertina where it's black, and that's because air's been leaking over the top of the chamois. And that's a clue to go and look at the supports for that particular position.
Right, okay, Paul, thank you.
Okay.
When you're putting it back together, you need to make sure that the orientation of the end piece is correct. Otherwise, you'll soon find out, because when you're playing a tune, you'll be playing all wrong notes on that side. This means that you...
I think I've found out about that one.
Yes. Yeah, you line up. At least they always tend to have on the bit of paper inside. It always says things like small notes right hand side.
Yeah, or little arrows.
Small notes lined up with the small notes on the other side. Right. Okay. Participants, mute everybody. Go and find my share screen session tune book. Yes, do ask questions like that. I mean, it's you know, this is meant to be a mutual self-help group. It's not just me playing. Oh, what's on there? Right, Apshenkin. This is the regimental march of one of the Welsh regiments, I think. It's the one whose regimental mascot is a white goat. You remember the Queen's funeral and things? There was one of the regiments marched with a goat at the front of it. Few things to note about this. The tune's not that's the sort of way the tune goes when it's going. But you will see there are some A's and B's, and at the very top it says A, B, A. There are no repeat marks on either the A section or the B section, and there is a fine in the middle. So these are clues as to how to play it. So the AABA goes as you think. So you do an A, and you do another A, and then you do a B, but you don't do another B. You go and do another A. So it goes A B A B A. So there are times when you do 3 A's in a row, and you finish off at the end of an A, not at the end of a B. Anyway, so we'll play. We'll do an AABA, and if I don't signal to stop at that point, you do another AABA. But we'll play it quite slowly to start with. So I'm just... Yes, it's a sort of awkward one to do the lead in. So I'll do that. A B A. I don't know. Yeah, that's better actually. Right, I'll play you the whole of the second line, and then come in and do 2 A's, 1 B, 1 A, and then we'll stop. Now, A again. B. It definitely finishes there rather than at the end. Should we do that again? Slightly faster, but not a lot. I'll play just the last 2 bars of an A part. A. B. And again a bit faster. So left, right. Yes, that was more a funeral march, I think, which is perhaps why we heard it. That's an ordinary parade march is 100 beats per minute. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Yeah, that'll do. Right. Okay, the last two bars for an A part. Sorry, I faded out at one point. I was thinking ahead, which is dangerous. Right, I think we don't spend too long on these, but it's could do it as a brisk. Right, let's give it one more go. This is not long, is it? Somewhere in between those speeds. There we are. So was that too fast, or could you manage that? You could manage it? No, yeah, it's a bit dithery there, and Wendy's shaking her head. No, I think it doesn't need to go quite that fast. But I just thought we'd give it a try.
You got to spare the poor old goat.
Yeah, well, that's right. The goat was definitely trotting there, rather not galloping, but trotting. Yes. Right. However, we'll move on to one you may know rather better, which is Enrico, or Jacob. N, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, L, M, N. Enduring Enrico. Thomas Hardy's favourite tune, supposedly. We're on marches, so we're playing this as a march, so not swung. But it is quite often played as a horn. Played as a hornpipe, swung, but we're going to straighten it back out again. Assuming I can now. The danger is once you've swung something, your brain wants to keep doing it. Right, I'll play the whole of the last line rather more slowly. Yes, the distinctive thing about this is this descending. It's once you've got it under your fingers, it's no harder than playing a run. But if you're not used to it, you may want to just run your fingers. Let's just play that B part a couple more times. So I'm just going to play the last 2 bars of an A part, and then let's just do 2 B parts. Not too fast. Right, let's try the whole thing at a sort of marching pace. We weren't far off it. I'm trying to do left right against it, not very well. Right. So here's the last 2 bars of an A part. Again. Yeah, it's one of my favourite tunes, as well as it's obviously a favourite of all the Hardys. Right, so the next one was the Floral Dance on page 56. Must be quicker ways of getting down to this. There we go. The Helston Furry Dance. Those of you with certain memories may remember Terry. the BBC Two
Wogan.
DJ. Who do I mean?
Wogan?
Wogan, yes, that's right. Terry Wogan did a recording of the Floral Dance. That, probably best forgotten. Etc. Yes. All right, we'll just start a bit slower. Yeah, right. 1, 2, 3. Right, the last 4 bars then. Yes, well, we'll try that again. Yes, a bit faster. And they danced off into the distance. The White Cockade, right down the bottom. Lots of tunes starting WE. Pun? The White Cockade. WH. Here. We'll get there in a minute. White Cockade. The alphabetical order let me down. Yes, so actually in the last one I've noticed that I was playing, where there's 3 successive crotchets of the same note as there is in the first bar here and the second bar here. That's a good set to just alternate. I'm doing second, first, second, which is putting me back where I should be, and then and you can just do it a bit more cleanly than taking your finger off and putting it back on the same note. So it's a good practice piece. Right, so this goes, it can be a last 4 bars of either thing. They're sort of the same, aren't they? stop there as I was falling apart a bit at the end, and I just want to wiggle my fingers a bit as well. Right, this again I think needs to go a bit faster for a marching pace, so it's got quite a lot of notes in it to the pace. I'm going to have a drink of coffee as well. Possibly not. A little slower than that, perhaps. Right, okay, let's try the last 4 bars of something. What's am I doing? Right, okay. Yes, I think to be danced to, certainly it wants to go faster than that. We could try it a bit. There, that's fast enough. Right, and then the final march is something a bit different, and I have to get rid of something here so I can actually see it. March into Spring. So this is a John Mackenzie composition. I don't know whether I could, if I do that, can I? Yeah, that would work. If you're not trying to read the chords on the top, we can fit the whole thing. We need that. Oh, those are bar numbers. We don't need that. Right. So that should. Oh God, that didn't work very well, did it? Just make sure we can see all the bar lines. So this is his composition that starts out, or it's meant to be, I think, coming out of gloomy winter into sunny spring, but we're a bit the other way around at the moment. We're nicely spring-like and about to go back into winter, so we probably ought to play it in reverse order, but we'll stick to as it's written. So we're in F, I suspect, effectively at the start. We've certainly got B flats in it,
It goes from G minor to G, but there aren't any E flats.
Right.
There aren't
Okay.
any
Right.
E's
So
in the relevant part of it.
you're right. So it's G minor at the start. So I better move that down a bit because we can't actually see that top note, can we? Right, let's try that again. Remember the F natural there, it's all too easy to do an F sharp. And he's kindly put your other B flats in brackets there to remind you. I mean, it shouldn't strictly be necessary because an accidental at the beginning, applies to the whole bar. It goes out of scope at the end of the bar. Right, so let's so I'm going to just count this thing in. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, like that. Yes. So ignore the rest. So you're going to come in on the B flat after a count of 3, basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. Change. So I forgot the B. Not perfectly played there, but anyway, that was the first time through. We'll try it again. Yes, it says spring and it goes all majory, and then the following bar it's gone back to flats and minor again. I suppose this is the nature of March or whatever, that it swings from spring back to winter a bit. Right, shall we try that again at the same sort of speed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3. what I did there I played either a sharp or a flat where I shouldn't have done at the end of the penultimate line. It sounded quite nice, but it wasn't what was written. Right, John, would you like to play us through this? Give my fingers a rest, and we'll see if your interpretation is largely different to mine.
Not greatly, I think.
Have you got original sound on?
Do you want me? Oh, I have musicians on. Yes.
Right.
So a little bit faster, or
as you wish. You have control.
okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Play it again. Keep going. Very nice. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, I know what I did when I went wrong. I mean, it's the same. It's the same. The bit at the end of the penultimate line is the it's the same note pattern as the bit just after the start of spring when it suddenly goes back to winter, and I played it like that instead of playing the major version.
You've been playing B flats for 3/4 of the tune, and then all of a sudden it's
quite hard to get out of it again, isn't it? Yes. Right. Well, thank you, John. That's an interesting tune, is that one?
We'll find out whether spring has been truly invoked.
Well, yeah, it's going to fail on Tuesday, I think.
Back it up, no.
Right. So then the final piece we're meant to be doing in parts is the Lorelei. Aren't they are they the sirens on the Rhine or something? I think are they? Well,
either the sirens or the rocks. I'm not sure.
Well, yes.
I think, or maybe they're both called the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yes, these siren voices meant to lead you onto the rocks and cause your downfall. So we're back in D major. Oh no, not like that. something like that. Right, it's not a tune I know well at all, so this could go wrong. So again, I may be calling on John for assistance at some point, but I'll have a go at playing it through and see what happens. So here's the whole of the last line then, black notes. Oh, I was right the first time. No, oh, that's because of my instrument. That's what went wrong. Right, it's a quick change of. It's that high, whatever that is. It's a high C sharp, isn't it? That one there that was not working on the other one. I'll try it again. Ooh, yes. Yes, a few strange rhythm bits in this, and then also that high bit in round. Worth having a little look about bar 10 into 11. That's the C sharp. So it's worth making sure you can get your fingers on those notes. Shall we try it once more and try and play it right, and then we could have a look at the B part. Last line then. So I think that's the basic tune. We do have a recording to play against, but let's just try playing this second lower line, the red note. It's all a lot of arpeggio stuff. But some of them don't quite go where your fingers would expect immediately, so we'll do it quite slowly, I think, to start with here. Right, okay, so this is just going to be a last 2 bars, and then we'll see what happens. That's 3 bars, isn't it? I'll do last 4 bars then. A bit of applause off for that. It was nice, she says. It's the audience in the next room. Yes, I skived off doing that bar that had 2 notes. Up to you if you want to play both those, or just play the. If I would suggest is just play the top of the 2 notes if you're not into playing both notes at the same time. So what I'll do, or try and do, is play through twice at that sort of pace. Initially I'll start playing the red notes, and I suggest you play the black notes against them, and then when I get to the end I'll play the black notes and you can do the red notes against them, and then we can try them against both afterwards, and that will be it. What do I want? As the intro, I'll play the whole of the last line. Even though I'm going to be playing the red notes, I'm going to play the last lines black. Right, and now John did provide a, let me just stop sharing that for a minute. John did provide a tune. Let me close that. Close that. He did provide a sound file for it somewhere. We'll go on. Laurie Lee.mp3. It's a little bit faster, but not a lot. I think you could manage that. Right, so I want to share screen, and we want the music, and we want such, and we want that. All right, so right, so that can go away. that's off there. I can't make it any bigger and keep it on the screen, I don't think. Wait a minute, let's have a look, see if I can. I might just. Yes, I can. There you are. You've got it a bit enlarged there. Right, so now we want the music. Oops, didn't mean that. This one. So I can't remember whether this has an intro or not, so I'm just going to press the button and see what happens. Yep, so the answer was it doesn't have an intro, so you need to be in and playing quite fast at the start. I'm just going to count sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to count with sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press the button and expect you to sort of come in on the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That. Let's just stop sharing a minute. So, I mean, that was a bit faster. Were you keeping up all right at that? John was, but that's not surprising because he arranged it. Right. Do you want to have one more go at that, and then I think we'll call it time and let my finger rest. Share screen, share. Laurie Lee and media player. So you're going to get this a bit strange happening in my Zoom at the moment. Go away. Thank you. Right, go away. Just having difficulties with this. Right, I want that to go away. I've got something over the top of the music and I don't know whether it's going to disappear or not. Oh yes, it's gone. So back to the beginning. So you get it twice as writ. Well, as you get it as written because it has a repeat at the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very nice. If I was sort of imagine you all playing along there, all playing different parts and all harmonising together very nicely. Right, so it's 4 minutes to the hour. I'm not proposing to go on to anything else new. John, have you got any things you want to say? On the plus side, I think I'm fairly definitely I can be there next. It's next Sunday, isn't it, in Malden?
It is, yes.
So I'm not going away then. I'm going away twice in April, but at least one of them isn't a Chiltinas one. The second one might be. I'll let you know later on. Yeah, so I should be there next weekend. But I think that Laurie Lee one would be quite nice to play in reality at a Malden session with us really physically playing both parts.
Yeah, I'll try and slot it in. Are there any other tunes that people would like to have another go at these Zoom sessions?
Well, when is the next Zoom session?
Well, our next Zoom session isn't until May the 4th. Next month, the West Country Players have got a Zoom session, which is on the 6th of April. So we avoid clashes with them. So our next session is in
May the 4th. That's Star Wars.
Day.
Star Wars Day, isn't it? May the 4th be with you.
It's sort of May Bank Holiday weekend, surely.
It is. It is May
is.
Bank Holiday weekend.
So count me out.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yes, I'm away as well.
Who was that saying?
Lorna,
All right.
Nathan.
Yeah. Or Nathan,
So,
as it
Paul, do you think
says.
we should soldier on with that date? I'm not sure when.
If you
I
wanted
think
to
they were
change
partly
it,
tailored round your diary, but well, we can deal with that.
you could. Yeah, it's
Separately.
difficult to find. If you wanted another one in May, it can't. The next one is the Malden Chiltinas. The one after that is Swaledale.
Oh,
Okay.
So it would have to be the 25th if it was going to be anything other than the 4th, I think.
Bank Holiday again, I think.
You're quite right. Yes, it's May's full of bank holidays, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, Bank Holiday, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's best to stick with the fourth and
yeah.
see who's with us.
Right.
Maybe Darth Vader will turn up then.
Could play the Star Wars theme or something.
Okay. So as Paul is able to run the session at Malden next Sunday, that will be zoomed. The
Assuming
Wi-Fi, God's
the
willing,
network
yeah.
holds up.
Yeah.
And I'll make available the video of this, so if there are bits you found too fast and you want to have another try out, you can go back to it.
Well, the Lorelei, that's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's no reason why we shouldn't have another go at a Zoom session as well as at Malden.
Indeed.
He's going straight home.
Yeah.
The nice thing with the English concertina, you're playing with at least 4 fingers, and indeed on that right hand where you're using that finger, quite often if you're playing F sharps, you're using you're not using the F finger, you're using the third finger rather than the second. So in fact I wasn't actually using it all that often, and when I was, it was in a sensible direction. But anyway, it worked, but I don't want to overuse it. I'm meant to be going to Halsey in 2 weeks' time for Alistair Anderson's teaching, so I need it to work for that.
Whoops.
Is anyone else going to Halsey? Martin is. No one else. No. Wendy wanted to say something.
Just thank you for soldiering on.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Paul.
Right. Okay. With that, I declare it closed.
Right.
Thank you. Bye, folks.
Thanks, Paul. John.
Good night to you.